Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures, where I'll be talking and reviewing action figures from different manufacturers. Today we're going to be taking a look at the first vehicle that ever came out in the classified line. Well, there was the Baroness, but let's say for I.Joe was the first vehicle that came out. So of course we have Alvin Breaker Kimberly with the Wham Cycle. So of course this is a bit of a bigger box. As you can see, it's number 29 in the line. You have of course the little Cobra Island logo, due to the fact that this box was Target exclusive, of course sold in Canada from at Toys R Us. And if you were in Europe, well, you didn't have much choice. You had to only go to our great friends at Hasbro Pulse Europe. Now, let's have a look at what we get in the box. Let's talk also a bit history. Let's also have a look at my thoughts about this and what my note are out of it, and also does it have any collectible value. Now we're going to be starting by the history, of course, because the figure came out. This is the original one that I have from my mint in box collection. Now this is going to be a bit of a longer part of history because this set is inspired by two different sets. Now, of course, this is the one as he has swivel arms. This is a 1983 version of Breaker, but the original one came out. He was part of the 13 first figures with the non-swivel arm. As you can see, he is bearded, contrary to the drawing on the box, which is something very interesting. But the Wham Cycle also came out in 1982, 83, if we can put it like that. But the one that they mostly did the look-alike was on this new one here. So sorry, I have to push this because otherwise it's going to be totally out of place here. So sorry for the lighting on this. And it's the 25th anniversary version of the motorbike. Like the original motorbike didn't come with any figure, the second Wham motorcycle, this Wham cycle who came out in 2008, was delivered with Breaker versus the Televiper and the flight pod. As you can see, this is the same thing as Hasbro decided to do when they did the flight pod. Let's add the Televiper to the flight pod. Now, if we look closer around at the box here, Hasbro did something very interesting because Breaker, in the comic book, had a chewing gum. Now, the chewing gum bubble he has here is attached to his mic. It's the only time that they did it, and personally, I think this is a nice cut from the comic books. If you're a fan of the comic books, you know there's been a lot of bang going on with this chewing gum. I will let you read the comics. The Larry Hama stuff is just fantastic. But I find it pretty interesting. As you can notice, he has a pretty standard gear. Of course, this figure came with a pistol. You will understand why I'm talking about it. And you can see that there was some extra pouches on the motorbike. Now, let's get into the review of our new version from the classified line. Now, what do we get in the box? So we get, of course, Breaker, we get a helmet to go with him, we get the Wham motorcycle pistol here, let's say the sidecar, that you can be dismantled and you can put the Gatling gun in the... Geez, this is something that's really horrible with these items, due to the fact that they have the plastic who's bended. And here you have the motorcycle. So it's pretty a basic set for $41.99, but it was great to be able to have the Wham, who was a very important vehicle, and mostly in the cartoon because it was affiliated with Stalker, but it was still interesting to get a motorcycle. As you can see, details are pretty good, if we can say like this. For the first version, as you can see, you have instruments, you have a bit of paint, not going into too much details, but it looks pretty neat. The fact that you can remove it and give him this Gatling gun, but doesn't have any kind of ammo, so poor Breaker is not going to be able to shoot. But as you can see, you should slide it back in here, and then you should clips this back on over here, and you have the Gatling gun fixed on it. So here you should give it up, and as you can see, It looks pretty decent geared up. Now if we have a closer look at Breaker, Breaker is pretty simple. Has a few pouches, does not come with a backpack, but they wanted to make more of a helmet with a communication system. The goggles have a nice paint effect with this a bit purplish and blue underneath. Looks pretty interesting. So that's mostly the figure. As you can say, it's pretty basic. If you look at the one from 1982 or 83, it is also very basic. Now, my thoughts about this set is that this is a bit of a huge disappointment. If you're thinking about it, for the 25th anniversary figure, we get a pistol, we get something. This guy is supposed to be a special force guy, tier 1 operator, has no pouches. No, well, he has the pouches, but no pistol, no knife, nothing at all. Just a basic figure. No backpack. Would it have been nice to have a backpack with a communication system? Yes, it would have been fantastic. I think Gridiron Studio did one to compensate for what it is, but this figure is lacking total gear. The fact that you don't have some pouches, some other stuff, really is a bit of a disappointment for this set. So personally, I'm going to give this set a 5 out of 10 because there's a lot of stuff missing that Hasbro could have done. I can understand it was the first vehicle that was done for the G.I. Joes, the Baroness. I will make a review of that one. Was better equipped than what we are getting with this one. I have the impression that Hasbro is giving a lot more love to Cobra than to G.I. Joe because this figure is totally incomplete, and that's why I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Now, if we take at the collectible value of this one, it's been up and down, and I think it's an interesting set to have. The Ram is a nice motorbike. Now, of course, we have the Tiger Force version. We have now the Night Force version who came out. But this was, at the time it came out, was interesting. I know that it was this was from the first wave of who came out in 2021. But I mean, yeah, it's something who's going to have a certain value due to the fact that we were still in the COVID section. So there's going to be some research for it. I guess you can still pick it up on the secondary market for not so expensive. The prices really did go up crazy with this one here, but I mean, yeah, it is a bit of a shame. So it is a bit of a collectible item because you can really go and check it out. You will see that the prices haven't risen that much, and I don't think they will, due to the fact that we're going to be certainly getting this guy in a retro pack, and I guess he's going to get more gear, so that would put it as more interesting. The only thing we don't know is, are we going to get this in a retro pack? And that's the big question. So that's going to be it for the review of Breaker and the motorcycle Ram. If you like this review, please leave a like, share, comment in the section. Subscribe to the channel, it helps us out a lot, so we can continue with the other projects. I will be talking about that pretty soon and making a video about it. And if you want to have any suggestions that you want to do for any future videos, please let me know about it. And also go and check out, I did some pretty cool pictures with this guy outside when it was summer. So I have some pretty cool pictures. You can go and see it. The links are in the description. I have an Instagram page. They're not on there, but they're on my Facebook page. So go and check it out. So that's going to be it. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.